on here, but it says it's recording. So cool. So I wanted to gather us all together. I'll try to be super respectful of everyone's time, but something that's been really, really on my heart is, well, first of all, I feel like this Ready, Set, Grow group has been huge, like for me, and I feel like for you guys too. I feel like setting a date for each of our promotions was like monumental for me. It's something that I typically don't like to do because it used to make me feel pressured, but now it just makes you feel motivated. So hope that you guys feel the same. But I've also been thinking like, gosh, I wish like our whole entire team could be a part of this, because I think that this is quality stuff that we're learning here and quality training that we're getting. And I hate that we're the only ones listening to it. You know, like this isn't, how can we duplicate this? And kind of along the same lines, I've also been thinking, oh gosh, we have so many new people. We have got to figure out a streamlined getting started system. Like we've got to figure it out. I don't have a piece, because just with the girls that I've been starting, and this is why you guys, this is why you have to stay in the trenches as a leader, is because I've been sponsoring people and I feel like I'm overwhelmed with what to send to them. So this is coming from my personal experience, you know? So if I wasn't sponsoring, doing parties and stuff like that, I would never know that. So that's just kind of like a little plug, like always keep doing the do, because that way you have a pulse on your team. But I feel like I haven't known, there's been so much to send my girls, and I feel like they have been very overwhelmed. I feel like I have a lot of aces that I have not started strong because there's so much out there and everyone's saying to do 1,000 different things. And what I've come to the conclusion is, okay, Danielle has her way, Lindsay has her way, Grace and I are figuring out, like we have to, Grace Clayton, the other RVP, she's kind of figuring out what works for her. We tried to like form something together, but like our regions are totally different. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I remember Danielle having, as a region, she had her own, that's cute. Renee. Renee just got a kiss from her hubby. But, you know, I remember Danielle just being like, I'm ready to go nation. And our region is big enough to the point where we're kind of taking on a different feel than Carrie's nation. So we're at the point where we need to start doing our own stuff. And I kind of feel like we're at that point. So I'm taking responsibility and saying, okay, I think that we've started a lot of people who don't really have tracks to run on, as we say. And I want to fix that problem ASAP. So one thing that I know that I'm going to do is, as soon as I get my new phone, because this phone has a terrible camera, if you guys haven't noticed, like if I ever take like selfie videos or whatnot, it looks terrible. So when I get my new phone next month, I'm going to record a getting started video from my phone and just pin it to, like, include it in our pinned post in our region page, so that when people, I'm going to totally edit that pinned post because we don't use those call-in numbers anymore. We don't use majority of that information. So like when you sign people up and you direct them to our region page, which is one of the first things that they do when they are signed up, we know that, you know, like we know as soon as I sign someone up, they get products and we add them to the region and nation page, you know, then that's how we need the rest of the starting process to be. You know, it needs to be, we don't even think about it. We know exactly what we do when we start people. And then you can just say, you know, there's a getting started video at the top of the page, you know, like take a listen to that. And then, you know, listen to this getting started call or whatever. Or maybe that will be our getting started call. You know, I don't really know. But I think that would be a good start. And then kind of keep going with this whole train of thought of like, Ready, Set, Grow being awesome. And we need to think of a getting started, like, are we equipping our new people? I kind of was combining both thoughts and thinking we should just do a series of, we could either, we could come up with a name, but it would have the same premises, either what to do when you first get started or the nuts and bolts of Arbonne. They're both the same thing. And I would love for us to just take each of us who have been receiving all this wealth and all this knowledge. I would love for each of us to take a topic And that's kind of what I want us to brainstorm about. I would love for us to take a topic, and once a week, we can even do it, on Sundays, and like, we don't have to have a specified time, whenever is good for you, the person doing the training. I love that they did it that way. I mean, it was totally like, yeah, this is Arbonne, like pressure free. But we knew on Sundays we were going to get a good training. So we could do something like that, and like, each go over something that everybody is going to need to know in Arbonne. And then, after we finish this series, if it goes well and if it's helpful for people, I was thinking we could even re-record your videos and include them in the pinned post underneath my getting started. That way we have everything that they need right on our region page. We don't have to send them this SoundCloud and text that SoundCloud and go to this website and that website, because all the websites have different things. Sometimes the SoundClouds say different things. So I'm just trying to think of simplifying, because someone was telling me the other day, someone wanted to train me, like be my personal trainer or something like that. And she was like, yeah, I have this app. So I downloaded that app, and it had all these 1,000 different steps and blah, blah, blah. I got so confused, I deleted the app. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my own point. Like, the confused mind shuts down and says no. So I really want to, a bottom line, I want us to grow. That's what we need to do. In order for us to grow, we have to know, I think that we'll sponsor better with a simplified, streamlined system. And I think that it's going to be so much easier to duplicate. So our new people are going to be sponsoring quicker, because it's going to be so easy for them to say, just go to this pinned post. There's all of your videos. There's everything that you need to know, So, but that's just what I've been thinking of. That's like the other option that I could think of is to have our own website. And that seems complicated to me. And it seems like it would take a while to set up. It took Lindsay like months to set hers up. And I'm like, do we really want to wait that long? So I'm trying to think of something that's going to be quality and that's going to be super easy. And I want to give you guys the opportunity to train, because that is really important. And you guys all need to be doing it, because you all want to go region like very soon. So this is kind of you flexing your muscles and you working out those muscles of leadership, so that, if you have any kinks to get out, you're getting them out here and you're ready to go as your own regions. So, but I am totally 100% open to what you guys think. Do you like the idea, but you would like to tweak it a little bit? Do you not like it at all? Do you have a better idea? Do you want to just run with it right now and start this weekend? What are your thoughts? Unmute.
Lauren, this is Elisa. I really like the idea of a one-stop shop. And I think since you have the Facebook group, that's a really easy next step that people are comfortable with. I have one thought that you didn't mention, but I think could complement it.
Okay.
One thing I run into as somebody who's working outside of Arbonne also while I'm building it, is there are a lot of times in my workday when I could potentially do something for Arbonne, but it can't have any sound. So I wonder how we could, in addition to videos, also incorporate maybe like a getting started checklist or some kind of document that,
yes,
for maybe the new business builder who has, 15 minutes at work but can't watch a video. Just kind of an idea.
I like that. I'm writing this down. Yeah, it's great. And I've seen tons of getting started checklists all out there. And at first I thought, we'll just get the one from so-and-so's website. But again, I think we need to make our own. I really do. I think we need to record our own trainings and then make a getting started checklist that reflects that training,
Yeah. I heard one that had day 1, day 2, day 3. And I could see how having like a time range could be helpful, but we could make it our own, like you said.
Okay. Getting started checklist with a time range. I like that, Lisa. Yeah, okay. What else?
I think this is, exactly what you've been saying, Lauren, but I just want to affirm. I just feel like, we people jump in, we're helping them get started, and then it just kind of, like I'm such a processor, so I'm trying to externally process, but I'm such an internal processor. Sorry. But I think it'd be really good if it was just even on the document or in the trainings that we're like, okay, like there's so much to listen to, there's so much to X, Y, and Z, but what you need to do right now is get on the phone and call X amount of people. You know, like something like, you know what I mean? Like I just want, like I think it was just black and white of like, this is just what you actually need to do. And we can talk about product knowledge tomorrow. But today you need to make 10 phone calls and set up, you know, coffee dates, something like that. So
exactly,
just an affirmation of like, if we can just get as specific, because I think people are like, I had coffee with Lindsay a couple weeks ago and she was here in Minnesota, and she was like, do you want to know the secret to Arbonne? And I was like, actually, I just kind of want someone to tell me like, what is actually the system for success? Like, I know it, but can you just like tell me, like, so I can like tell that to my team? Like, so just like that, we can really just black and white of, you know, 6 parties a month and you sponsor 2 people. Like, I love that you gave us that this month. I felt like I could run with that more than, you know, other times when I'm just getting really all in the fluff.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I agree. And I think sometimes too, when people sign up, it's like this, like, they feel a little bit like, what do I do? And like, the truth is, I agree with Renee. Like, the truth is you have to start talking to people.
Right.
You know, like you can't just sit there. People do not call you. And like, you know, you're not going to post this on your Facebook or page. You just started your business. And then all of a sudden people are going to call you. Like, we all know that does not happen. So yeah, also just like, you know, kind of putting fear aside, like day one, and just get on the phone, start talking about it, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Instead of like, I mean, because we can listen to trainings all day, you know, and
sometimes I feel like that's all they do.
Like, and we all know that we got better about talking about it by talking about it.
Right. And
You
I
know?
think that, you know, if we do this, I think all the training should be 15 minutes. Like,
Totally.
none of this 30, 45-minute stuff, because then they use all of their office hours, their first 3 or 4 weeks, listening to trainings and overthinking it. I think if we just keep it simple, I love what Renee said too about like, okay, yeah, there's all this product knowledge and you could talk. Okay, yeah, we'll get to that. But right now, let's get on the phone, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Siobhan, what do you think?
Hi, I'm here. Sorry, I'm just running and getting stuff in the grocery store. No, I think that's a great idea, and I think that I feel similarly to everybody else. I think it's just going to be much easier to have a quick and condensed version of what to do once they join and get started, so that they're not overwhelmed. Because I even think, thank you so much. Have a good night. I even think that sometimes I'm overwhelmed with saying like, okay, shoot, what do I need to send them, and what's the best version of this? And sometimes I feel like, is it dated, or is this really going to speak to them and help them get launched strong? So I think it's great also that we're going to have it just separate for our own nation.
Mm-hmm.
So that way we know like where to go, and we trust where it's coming from. We know we like it. Like, we're the ones who are able, I don't know if you guys said this, but like, if we're going to re-record some of the basics, like getting started things, or create our own docs or whatever, we're just going to know where it comes from, so that we feel confident in what we're providing for them. Because we're like, oh yeah, we did this. We know that this works.
Right.
X, Y, and Z. So
right.
I'm really excited about that, because I just think that allows us to launch our new business builders with a lot more, like, much greater confidence.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And that's exactly it. Like, I think that people will sponsor more because they're going to be confident in what are they bringing their new people into, what tools are they giving them, you know? And like, I think it's pretty telling that you guys have been wanting, like, you know, what is the system for success? Of course we know it, but it seems complicated. You know, that's because, and I kind of feel like I started to get overwhelmed too. Like, I feel like I'm in all these VP calls and people are always talking about like, my team does this and my team does this. And it's great that we're sharing all this information, but I've been like, my mind has been boggled. Like, what do I want to settle on? You know, do we want to do the 10 rolling income producing activities? You know, like, that works for some people. I don't have peace about that. I don't feel like that fits our team, you know, or do we want to do this like Debbie Neal balls to the wall method, you know, like, I don't, you know, that, but as I was just thinking about it, I'm like, what will I consistently do every month that challenges me, that pushes me, but that doesn't burn me out? And it's 6 parties a month and sponsoring 2 people consistently. And that's what's going to get people to the trip, you know, and that's what, you know, we as leaders are committed to doing. So, you know, I think this could be a conversation later if it needs to be, but like, how do you guys feel about letting that be our thing, you know? And if people want to do more than 6 parties, you know, if someone's like, absolutely, like, you know, I absolutely want DM and I really want to go for area qualification, we can say, okay, this 6 parties a month and 2 new business builders gets you to DM bonus or area qualification in your central district every single month. If area qualification is, you know, the absolute goal, then let's do, you know, 8 parties or 10 parties and sponsor 3 or something like that. We can always up it, you know, but I think that for me, I feel comfortable duplicating that 6 parties to sponsoring, but how do you guys feel about that?
I feel good about that.
Okay.
I feel good about that. I mean,
I love that.
I think events can be, well, and I'm just speaking for myself, events are where I have found it hard. I get super creative when it comes to events. Sometimes events are just sample packs and meeting with people, but I think totally, like, it's so, at least it gives you something to go for, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that 6 is a much more manageable number, because not that I hate to use the word busy, because every person is busy. Like, that's really not an excuse, but I just think, like, and probably overcommitted is a better term, but I think that 6 parties is just a very easy number, because you're like, listen, it's just, you're doing like 1 to 2 activities per week. So block that out from the get-go, and then, you know, be sponsoring 2 each month and helping them get to whatever, you know. I kind of like the Debbie Neal approach of balls to the wall, but that's the, but I just think that 6 is much more of a reasonable number, that I'm like, yes, I absolutely can do 6 activities this month. It's only 6. I don't know why it's a mental thing between 6 and 8, but you're like 8. I don't know if I have time for that. In reality, we really probably do. But if somebody is really pushing for a promotion, like you said, I think it's much easier to say, listen, we recommend 6. Like, that's what we're doing. But if you really want to go hard and go fast, like, do 10. You know, that's totally up to you. But I think 6 for sure is a really good number that we can be doing as well.
And especially for people you sponsor that are currently working a job, you know, until they get to that area manager level where they replace their income. Yeah, more than 6 does seem, I think, overwhelming for people that are, you know, we want to make it manageable and like realistic so that they will work the Arbonne business hard in conjunction with whatever they're doing, so that they can leave that other job.
Yeah.
And do
Yeah.
Right.
I think if we say, like, here is what's going to if you do this consistently, here's the medium, here's the middle of the pack. This is the path. 6 parties sponsored 2. You can, if you want to go faster, you have it. You know, if you want to like crawl, like go a little bit slower, you can, whatever. But this is what's going to consistently build your business. If you do this consistently, your business will grow. And we can always adjust to needs. But okay, kind of going back a little bit, what are some topics I would love for us? Okay, there's 2 Amy's, Lauren, Siobhan, JD, Elisa, Renee, and Megan, who wasn't able to be on. That's 8 people. I don't really think we need to do. Okay, so here's an option. We could do 4 weeks and having 2 trainings a week, which actually may be a good idea. That's the first time I've ever thought about that. Having, you know, 2 people take one topic. Or we could, because I don't think we can hold people's attention for 8 weeks. It's just kind of my feeling. We've been in the Ready, Set, Grow for almost for a month now. For like, I think this is our 5th week, and I'm kind of feeling like, okay, good to go. Got what I needed. Like, let's move. So, but I guess, what do you guys think about that? And then I would love to come up with some topics. I already came up with here's some ideas that I have. Like, so you just signed up. Now what? Which, Renee, I'm already signing you up for that one. I have vision and belief. I have how to set a goal and keep it. I have creating your why and your 100-person list. I have sponsoring, I have booking parties, and I have time management, which Elisa, I'm like thinking of you already on that one. We decided to keep it. But what do you guys think about those? Like, what else? I guess, what did you, when you guys first started, what did you have that helped you, and or what do you wish you had? Like, what training was like, okay, that was like super helpful, I ran with it, and what were you like, okay, I need more of this, I need more of XYZ?
Lauren, I feel like I'm always asking you what to say, like, especially when I first started, like, okay, I'm ready, I'll call him, but what do I say?
Right.
So what do you think about, like, maybe 2 people doing several role plays?
Ooh.
Of like, ring ring, and then like having the actor give different responses so that you could kind of envision what it might look like to funnel someone through different steps, or to handle a no in a way that would not adversely affect your relationship or your future business.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I love that. And I'm thinking Siobhan, Amy Zuko, Amy Champion, and I will all be together next weekend. So maybe we can do that.
That would be amazing.
Yes. I love that. I love those topics, Lauren. And I think I love the idea of having each person kind of spear that up. I mean, I'm by no means an expert on, what do you call it, time management, so don't give that one to me. But I mean, even just other things, like, I love that I just like that we're making it our own. I know, like, we talked about that, but I think that's really huge, because it just makes it so much more real, because you're like, no, we recorded these, so like, this is coming from our experience. Like, this is,
right.
This is what to do if you want to go. So I love that. I think that's great. I love the idea of the role play, because I think I asked you that too when I first started, like, well, what's an example of like a phone call? Or I still ask you that, like, how do you prospect somebody in Australia? Like, what's a conversation that you have with them? Right. So even if like that could be, as the time goes on, like a sample phone call to prospect somebody in a foreign country type thing, and someone could record a quick little video on that. I think that's great.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I think that's really good. Okay. So I think we're all on board with this. I think that, I just counted up these topics, and with role playing added in there, that's 8. So that's perfect, because it's the exact amount that we need. When I want to start, like, I would start today if you guys were on board, but I think we need to pick a day, and I think we need to start talking it up. We could, like, hypothetically, if we wanted to do Sundays, we have enough time to start talking about it and giving our teams like the heads up and the awareness to start this Sunday. But what do you guys think about that?
So is our Ready Set group, the Sundays, is that over for us then?
No, I don't think so. I actually don't know when it's ending. But we haven't heard from Sarah Langham yet. So I know that there's at least one more trainer.
Okay.
And I would think that Carrie would wrap up the series. So I would think that that's maybe still going on.
Yeah, I think, I'm muted. I'm totally on board and think we can, if everyone's up for it, we can start running with it. Especially if they're going to be really short, or like 15 minutes, that's not a huge, big old time commitment.
Right.
When you take out over recognition and stuff. Also, something that really helped me get to DM was doing outside orders. Is there somewhere that we can, like, maybe even in the verbiage or the role play stuff, but talk about how to do outside orders or that kind of thing? Because that was like pretty much what got me to DM, was like put me over. It was just like calling people
right.
and asking for outside orders. So that, sorry, just a side note, I just don't want to forget that.
Yeah. No, I was actually thinking that earlier with someone was saying something that reminded me of like sponsoring. Oh, maybe it was you, JD, but like, sample packets and everything like that is still a big part of our business. I'm trying to think of where we could sneak that in. Maybe, Renee, like maybe actually that would be like if you took the, so you just signed up, now what? If you took that one, I think you could kind of fit it into that, because it could be like, okay, here's the two things that we primarily do. And then we also collect orders, and that can be a big part of your business kind of thing. So, we can talk about that, but I think that on the outside looking in right now, it looks like that would be the best opening, unless we wanted to create another, like a night recording, which we could do.
I think, we could always fit it in. And then if we feel like we need to
clarify.
Exactly. Yeah. We could always add that in.
Okay. Cool.
Awesome.
I'm down to start. I'm down to start this Sunday. And especially if our group is going to be up soon, I have to be a little bit careful with Sundays, just because that is for sure the one day off a week my husband has. So I try to be just sensitive to that. But I mean, like Renee was saying, 15 minutes. Yes. Like that's definitely doable. And that's, and technically you can watch all these replay. Like, again, that's the great thing. So you're accountable for your business. They're there. Here's when we do them. Like, watch them. And then I wanted to add an idea too, and this can just be added to something in the 8 weeks you have. But I think a training too on like follow up. Like the whole fortunes and the follow up thing. That's one thing I've been like talking to my new business builders about, because that is just with the outside orders, I guess, that Renee's talking about too. I agree. That's what got me to DM, and it was the follow up on all those outside orders. And not just taking an initial no as a no, or, I don't know, following up, but maybe that could be piggybacked in another topic.
Right. I like that.
Hey girls, sorry to interrupt. I'm going to have to hop off here. We're starting to eat dinner.
Okay.
But I will listen to the rest of the recording. Sorry I have to abruptly go.
No problem.
Y'all are great. Okay. Talk to you soon.
Okay. Love you, Renee.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. So, okay, I'm kind of excited about this. I feel like we have something that we're doing, like kind of what you were saying, Siobhan, like this is unique to us. This is going to be our thing. And I feel like it's simple enough. It doesn't take a ton of organization, and we're all working together. So it's going to be done well. Something that I think that we do need to do, I do want to do like the Facebook Live. I think that we need to figure out, I think we need to get good at doing that, because I think that our businesses are going to be using that a lot in the future. So it's like we need to, as leaders, we need to start getting comfortable with that. So I think that we do the first round on Facebook Live, and then we can all rewatch it and say, here's what I liked about that training. Here's what I didn't. And then re-record a different one that's not on Facebook Live. And then I'll put it on YouTube and I'll pin it to the post. Do you guys like that?
Okay. Yeah, I do.
Okay. So I say we start on Sunday. I'll do the first one. I'll send out all these topics to you guys. And I already put in some of y'all's names. Siobhan, I put you for sponsoring. But you can change it, sign up for a different one. It's totally fine. And then the last thing I wanted to have, because I know it's 40 minutes. Well, we haven't been talking for 40 minutes, but still. I also just wanted to let you guys, like, the last thing that I had is just to encourage you guys to really lean in this month, and that this really is your month if you make it your month, because we have January, February, March GTC. So we have all these goals. Everybody has put their goals. It's like, here's where I want to be by GTC. That means now. That means we're not in the preparation. That means we're in the go time, And I feel like I just want to claim it for you and give you guys the encouragement and empowerment to claim it for yourself. You can sponsor your first MVP today. That thought, I think of that all the time. And I think I could sponsor my first MVP today. Obviously, I think it's going to be one of you guys. But I'm just saying, like, just the excitement of being like, oh, my gosh, that could happen. You can have 6 awesome parties this month. I meet 2 girls who are ready to qualify for area this month. But it all starts with taking the emotion out of it, taking the fear out of it, whatever, lack of discipline we have out of it, and being like, I'm leaving that behind, like what we've talked about before, and saying like, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I said I'm going to do. I'm going to take myself at my word and like really lean in this month. And I was looking through some notes that I had taken, listening to some trainings in the Bahamas. And one of the girls had said, she was a new MVP, and she said, we set goals because they force us to clarify what we actually want. So I would love for us to just revisit your goals. I encourage you to revisit your goals for this month, not like for the year, because sometimes that can be like hypothetically down the line, but like revisit your goal for this month and know that you made it because it clarified something for you that deep down you actually do want. Something that is worth going for, something that's worth doing the whole balls to the wall. I hate that we've like used that now like 4 times, but whatever. But, like that supports that mindset, because that's the mindset that we need to have of if we're going to get to our dreams that are totally worth it. So anyway, I want you to like really claim this month. We need to like, if we want to, one of the other notes said like, you have to be doing your team system for success, because you can't expect new people to follow someone who isn't going. So we need to make sure that our calendars, I know for me, I've got to get 2 more parties on the calendar in order to have that 6, so we need to make sure that our calendars are the system for success. And that, we've talked to enough people to sponsor too, so anyway, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to give you that, the details of what I was thinking. And then also just the belief in you that I know that you can have the biggest month and that you can really hit what you want this month. And I have 4 hours of office hours on Friday. So, I'm here to kind of help you go through any goals that you want kind of smoothed over or help with. So that's what I'm here for. Does anybody have anything else they wanted to add before we head out?
No, I think that's
Can I
it.
take a slot for Friday?
Yes.
I love this.
Of course. I'll text you.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys let me know, and I'll go ahead and stop the recording.